Starting off our Alpine Senior Division this afternoon, a beautiful group of Alpine yearling milkers. We may not have a lot in numbers, but we certainly have four beautiful representatives. One is going over two today for her advantage in that mammary system. We have a doe that's showing us more height and width to the mammary system, more extension to the foreudder, and more overall capacity to that mammary system. We have a doe that in general appearance has a slight advantage in that front end assembly, blending smoother from her neck into her withers. She's going to yield to the body capacity, however, to that second place doe. Two is placing over three for now her advantage to the mammary system, the width and the smoothness of that foreudder, coupled with general appearance, the correctness of feet and legs, the strength of those rear pasterns, and the angulation of the rear legs over our third place doe. Three placing over four. It is for her advantage now in the mammary system, the height, the width of that rear udder, the overall fullness and the escutcheon of that rear mammary system and capacity. And then in general appearance, we have a longer bodied, more upstanding doe that is leveler over her back and rump. We do appreciate the spring of rib on this fourth place doe. The mammaries in this class are 1 and 2.
In our Alpine yearling milker class, first place and best udder goes to entry 73. Rose Winds Livingston Mead, exhibited by Alexandria Stewart, Frankfort, Ohio. Second place and second best udder to entry 74. Hohenbu Tab Pom Pom Ping Pong, exhibited by Drew Broker, Bell Fountain, Ohio. Third place to entry 72. Reba, exhibited by Hannah Wolf, Mason, Illinois. Fourth place to entry 75, Cars Creek SV Morning Mogul, exhibited by Debbie Haberlin, Georgetown, Indiana.
And starting off our Nubian Senior Doe show here at the North American International, we're starting off with a doe that has the advantage here today in the mammary system. We have more width and more height, a little stronger medial teat placement on this first place doe over second place doe. A doe showing us more overall capacity to that mammary system, and in general appearance, a doe that's stronger on her feet and legs, primarily the pasterns over our doe here in 2. Mammaries will be 1 and 2. 2 is placing over 3 now for her advantage in the mammary system. A doe with more capacity in her turn, more width to that rear udder. In general appearance, a doe that's more upstanding and level over her back and rump, and in body capacity deeper in that heart girth with more spring of rib than our doe in 3. 3 is placing over 4. Now a doe that has the advantage in both the mammary system with capacity and width, and in body capacity with more spring of rib, more width in that chest floor, and depth in the heart girth. We do appreciate the dariness and the sharpness in the withers of our fourth place doe.
In our Nubian yearling milker class, first place and best udder goes to entry 95, Begley's Troubled Acres Charade, exhibited by Lisa Begley, Martinsville, Ohio. Second place and second best udder goes to entry 94, Hohenboo Elon Keep the Faith, exhibited by Holly Broker, Bellefountain, Ohio. Third place to entry 96, Begley's Troubled Acres Masquerade, exhibited by Lisa Begley. And fourth to entry 93, White Creek's Fires Ruby, exhibited by Dale Behrman, Columbus, Indiana.
2-year-old Alpine does. Starting off with our udder placings will be 1 and 2. 1 is placing over 2 for her advantage in the mammary system. We have a doe that has a higher, wider rear udder, one that blends more smoothly up into that escutcheon. We have a doe that is showing us more overall capacity to that mammary system. We have a doe in general appearance that when she is walking, she's more upstanding in that front end. She blends more smoothly from her neck into her withers, and she's level over the back and rump. She's also a doe that in dairy strength, when you put your hands on her, she's far more open in that ribbing. She's got thinner skin, carrying less excess fleshing than our doe here in 2. And it's interesting to note the doe in first has been fresh since November, so this is an extended lactation, and she's still looking this good at this time of year. 2 is placing over 3, and it is for the advantage she has today in that mammary system. We have a doe just showing us much more capacity to that mammary system, much more width. When viewed from the side, you can see that 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 on that mammary system. And again, dairy strength, a doe carrying a little less excess fleshing than our doe here in 3. 3, I think, is probably a sleeper in this class. We've got a first freshener, and we just don't have enough capacity right now to go with this tremendous body, but we certainly have a beautifully attached mammary system. Another freshening or 2, and she's going to be something to contend with. And it's because of this attachment on this mammary system, the smoothness of forudder, the height of rear udder, the correctness of that medial and teat placement and size, coupled with the correctness of the top line feet and legs, that puts her over our doe here in 4th place. 4 placing over 5. It is for her advantage now in the mammary system. We have a rear udder that's just higher into that escutcheon, more symmetry and balance between halves. Doe that's just a little bloomier right now at this stage in the game. When they're on the move, she's leveler over that back and rump, especially from hips to pins, and shows us a little more correct angulation about the rear legs than does our doe here in 5th place. 5 over 6, it is for general appearance. A doe that more correct in that front end assembly. She's straighter on her 4 legs, as coupled with body capacity. Just a deep, tremendous spring of rib and depth throughout on this Cou Blanc doe. She's going to yield to the rear udder that we have, however, on this black doe here in 6th place. 6 over 7, it is for the mammary system. The height of that rear udder, the width of the rear udder. And again, I think this black doe is another one of those sleepers we have that's just not as mature to be more competitive up here today. We're going to give her another year or 2, and the tables are going to turn with this doe. But right now, she just needs more of that to be able to compete. But it is for the correctness of this mammary system, the height, the width, the smoothness, and the capacity that moves her over our Cou Blanc doe here in 7th place. 7 over 8, it is for general appearance, the correctness of feet and legs, primarily those pasterns, coupled with the levelness over her rump area when she's on the move to move her over our doe here in 8th place. 8 over 9, it is for the mammary system. It is the capacity of the mammary system and the symmetry and balance between halves. And when she's on the move, a doe that's just more uphill. She blends smoother from her neck into her withers. We will commend our last place doe here today for that spring of rib, the openness of ribbing that she is showing. Thank you.
In our Alpine 2-year-old class, first place and best udder goes to entry 80. It is free, exhibited by Mark Weir, Manitou, Kentucky. Second place and second best udder to entry 78, Gilmore Acres Lockhart Phoenix, exhibited by Hannah Wolf, Mason, Illinois. Third place to entry 83, Hohenboo JT Pom Pom Powder Puff, exhibited by Drew Broker, Bell Fountain, Ohio. Fourth place to entry 84, Pleasant Grove MFM Micah, exhibited by Hannah Goeb, Franklin, Indiana. Fifth place to entry 77, the West Liberty Farm Freya, exhibited by Brenda Leitner, Pittsboro, Indiana. Sixth place to entry 79, Gilmore Acres Lockhart Passion, exhibited by Hannah Wolf, Mason, Illinois. Seventh place to entry 81, Karst Creek SV Jadza Dax, exhibited by Debbie Haberlin. Eighth place to entry 76, PV Farms Taylor My Melly, exhibited by Anna Wildermuth, Akron, Indiana. And ninth place to entry 82, QMF Alley's Final Edition, exhibited by Diane Patton, Waynetown, Indiana.
This is our 2-year-old Nubian class, only four deep, but again, four really nice 2-year-olds here, all on a pretty level keel of first fresheners. But we're going 1/2 today for her advantage. Firstly, in the mammary system, we have a doe that has a stronger medial, doe that is stronger on the udder floor, a doe that has more proper teat placement, doe that will yield to the width of the rear udder on the second place doe, though. A doe that in general appearance walks with more smoothness about that udder, and she's stronger on her feet, just primarily those front feet, than our second place doe. And then in dairy strength, she's just sharper, carrying a little less excess flushing than our doe here in 2. Mammaries will be 1 and 2. 2 is placing over 3 now in her turn for mammary system. A doe that has more symmetry and balance between the halves, a doe with more extension to the foreudder, more overall capacity to the mammary than this third place doe. She's going to yield to the beautiful depth of body and smoothness of blending this third place doe. I often say it's a shame we can't do bits and pieces because this third place doe's got the general appearance going on. And it's for this general appearance that she goes over our fourth place doe. This beautiful front end assembly, the levelness, the correctness of feet and legs, and the way she just kind of floats around the ring. It's for all these reasons we go over 4. Our fourth place doe, we really, she's more immature than the 3 in front of her, and she's just not happy to be here today, but we certainly do appreciate the beautiful breed character and front end.
In our Nubian 2-year-old class, first place and best udder goes to entry 97, Begley's Troubled Acre Hoopla, exhibited by Lisa Begley, Martinsville, Ohio. Second place and second best udder to entry 99, Hohenboo Epic Faithful Fortune, exhibited by Holly Broker, Bellefountain, Ohio. Third place to entry 100, Hohenboo Everdeen Prime, exhibited by Holly Broker. And fourth place to entry 98, Begley's Troubled Acre Tipster, exhibited by Lisa Begley, Martinsville, Ohio.
We have a single entry in the 3-year-old Alpine class, a doe that we really appreciate this balance and general appearance on. A doe that's very smoothly blended. She stands uphill. She's strong in that dairy strength category, flatness of bone, and we'll see her back in for our senior champion lineup.
In our Alpine 3-year-old class, first place and best udder goes to entry 85, Love's Blue Ridge Cages Dia, exhibited by Brenda Leitner, Pittsboro, Indiana.
Placing our 3-year-old Nubian does. Udders in this class are going to be 1 and 2. 1 is going over 2 today for her advantage in the mammary system. We have a doe that's showing us more height and width to that rear udder, more overall capacity, more extension to the fore udder. We have a doe now in general appearance that's more upstanding in that front end, a longer bone pattern doe than our doe here in 2. 2 is placing over 3. Now in her turn for the mammary system. We have a doe that has the advantage in that medial, more pleasing size and shape to those teats. A doe with a more the rear udder just blends more correctly up into the escutcheon. In general appearance, a doe is more correct on her feet and legs, and in dairy strength, she's sharper in those withers. She's longer, cleaner neck than our doe in 3. 3 is placing over 4. Again, a doe that excels in the mammary system, a doe that has more capacity, a doe that has more height to that rear udder, a longer, wider, smoother fore udder attachment. Also, in general appearance, a doe that is stronger in that chine area as well as the rump from hips to pins, and then our doe here in 4. 4 is placing over 5, a closer pair. These last 2 does are just not as mature as the 3 in front of them, and they're both does that have some really nice parts. They're just not filled out as much as those other 3 yet, but 4 is going over 5 today for her advantage in general appearance. A doe that is more correct in that rear leg set, more proper angulation, stronger on the rear pasterns. A doe that in dairy strength is sharper in her withers, a longer, leaner neck, more open in her ribbing. We do appreciate our length of body that we have on our 5th place doe.
In our Nubian 3-year-old class, first place and best udder goes to entry 105, Begley's Troubled Acres Fast Nash, exhibited by Lisa Begley. Second place and second best udder to 104, Hohenboo BMR Karma Kismet, exhibited by Holly Broker. Third place to entry 108, Hohenboo UNKD Divine Merit, exhibited by Holly Broker. Fourth place to entry 106, Begley's Troubled Acre Hot Facts, exhibited by Lisa Begley. And fifth place to entry 107, Begley's Troubled Acre Boomstra, exhibited by Lisa Begley.
This is our 4-year-old Alpine class. We only have 2 does. 1 is going over 2 today for her advantage in the mammary system. We have a doe that is in production versus a doe that is not. So we have a clear advantage here today in the capacity as well as the symmetry and balance between halves, the extension of fore udder, the height to the rear udder. In general appearance, a doe that is stronger on those feet and legs than our doe here in 2. We do want to appreciate this beautiful length of body and levelness of top line. An amazing rump on this second place doe. First udder will be on our first place doe.
In our Alpine 4-year-old class, first place and best udder goes to entry 86, Tempo Akia Slate, exhibited by Mark Weir. Second place and second best udder to entry 87, Tagalong Lamona, exhibited by Lauren Harnisfeger, Fountaintown, Indiana.
Starting this class of Nubian 4-year-olds, one is going over two today for her advantage in general appearance. We have a doe that is more correct on her feet and legs, especially those pasterns, more proper angulation to the rear legs. She walks more uphill. She's level over that back and rump when she's on the move, less tendency to roach in that loin area. She's leveler over the rump from hips to pins. And in dairy strength, she's sharper in those withers. She's more open in her ribbing, longer, leaner neck. She's going to yield to that tremendous mammary system on the second doe. So first udder is on my second place doe. Second place udder is going to be on my third place doe. 2 is going to place over 3 for her mammary system. We have a doe that just has a tremendous mammary system. It's the height, the width, that strong medial, the teat size and placement on that mammary system over that third place doe. Coupled with that body capacity, that depth throughout, bringing her over our third place doe. 3 is placing over 4 now, again, mammary system. We have the advantage of the height and the width to that mammary system, the capacity to the mammary system, coupled with a doe that is also walking just a little more uphill when she's naturally on the move than our doe here in fourth place. 4 is placing over 5, a doe that now excels in general appearance, a doe that is a longer body doe, a flatter bone pattern doe, a doe carrying in dairy strength, less excess fleshing than our doe here in fifth place. 5 is placing over 6, and it is in her turn now for general appearance, a doe that's stronger on those feet and legs, especially the pasterns, a doe that is just carrying herself with more ease of motion about the ring, and in the mammary system, we're carrying more milk, more capacity than our doe here in sixth place. We do appreciate the strong front end on this sixth place doe.
In our Nubian 4-year-old class, first place and best udder went to entry 111, Hohenboo BMR Casely Kennedy, exhibited by Holly Broker, Bell Fountain, Ohio. Second place to entry 110, Begley's Troubled Acre Illicit, exhibited by Lisa Begley, Martinsville, Ohio. Third place and second best udder to entry 113, Begley's Troubled Acre Busybody, exhibited by Lisa Begley. Fourth place to entry 114, Hohenboo Feather Faithful, exhibited by Holly Broker. Fifth place to entry 109, Begley's Troubled Acre Hot Shot, exhibited by Lisa Begley. And sixth place to entry 112, Hohenboo Divinity Virtue, exhibited by Holly Broker.
Starting our aged Alpine class with a doe, I think moves herself real handily into this spot. For her advantage in the mammary system, a doe with much more capacity to the mammary system, more height to the rear udder, and more extension to the fore udder. In general appearance, a doe that is much leveler over that back and rump than our doe here in 2. 2 is placing over 3, and it is for her advantage now in that body capacity category. She's much deeper in the heart girth, more springer rib, and carries that depth on back through her rear flank. More substance of bone, and in general appearance as well, a doe that's just stronger on those feet and legs. I will say our third place doe here is a 10-year-old doe with non-freshenings. That would surprise most anybody, I think. Very youthful looking doe. And as breeders, that's what we should all be striving for, a doe that's aged incredibly well. And it is because of this strength in the front end assembly, the way she blends from her neck into her withers, the strength of her pasterns, as coupled with that mammary system, the capacity, the height, the width, that puts her over our doe here in fourth place. We will commend the fourth place doe here today for that spring of rib and flatness of bone that she is showing.
In our Alpine Age Doe class, first place and best udder goes to entry 88, Rose Winds FR Magnolia, exhibited by Alexandria Stewart, Frankfort, Ohio. Second place and second best udder to entry 90, Gilmore Acres Legacy, exhibited by Hannah Wolf, Mason, Illinois. Third place to entry 93, Last Go Round Dr. Riker's Edda, exhibited by Deborah Kreider, Danville, Kentucky. And fourth place to entry 91, Love's Blue Ridge Decadence, exhibited by Brenda Leitner, Pittsboro, Indiana.
Our age Nubian class, one is going over to today, a doe that the only one that is currently in milk in this class, a doe that has a clear advantage because of that beautiful well-attached mammary system. So we'll start there with the advantage in the mammary system, the height, the width, the overall area of attachment and capacity, coupled with the extension of foreudder. Then we get to general appearance, a doe that's stronger on her pasterns, a doe that also has the advantage in the levelness of her back and her rump over our second place doe. Two is placing over three. Now for her advantage in general appearance, a doe that is longer bone pattern, a doe that has a longer, wider, flatter rump from hips to pins and thurl to thurl, coupled with that body capacity, just deeper from her heart girth on back into that rear flank. And though she's not in milk, you can certainly tell that this doe has just a lovely attached mammary system and medial. And we certainly do appreciate the teat placement on our third place doe. These does are hardworking girls. It's late in the year and they've just called it quits. But we will commend that third place doe for that powerful front end that she has.
In our Nubian 5 and over class, first place and best setter goes to entry 115, Hohenbu Katniss Everdeen, exhibited by Holly Broker. Second place and second best setter to entry 116, Grand Champion Skyview KW Pretty in Pink, exhibited by Holly Broker. Third place to entry 117, Begley's Troubled Acres Scheme, exhibited by Lisa Begley.
This is our Alpine, a dry senior doe class. Four really nice, powerful does out here today. Starting off with a doe, an aged doe that is in dry, and it is for her advantage in general appearance. A doe that is just more upstanding in that front end. She blends smoother from her neck into her withers. She has a slight advantage in her feet and legs and being stronger on those pasterns. And there is degrees of being broken in feet and legs all the way down this line on these Alpines. But a doe that is maintaining it, coupled with just the power and width throughout, the width in that chest floor, the depth and the spring of rib, over our second place doe. 2 is placing over 3, and it is again general appearance being so level over that top line, especially that chine and rump area. A doe that is a little deeper in the heart girth and wider in the escutcheon than our doe here in 3. 3 is placing over 4, and it is for her advantage in the body capacity category. A doe that just has more springer rib, more depth throughout. She's got more maturity than this very long body doe here in 4th place. Really appreciate the rump structure on this 4th place doe.
In our Alpine dry doe class, first place goes to entry 92. Tagalong La Ella, exhibited by Lauren Harnischfager, Fountaintown, Indiana. Second place to entry 89. Loves Blue Ridge Demetra, exhibited by Brenda Leitner, Pittsboro, Indiana. Third place to entry 96. Pleasant Grove Mono Mariah, exhibited by Hannah Gobe, Franklin, Indiana. And fourth place to entry 94, Pangea Momentary Angel, exhibited by Debbie Haberlin, Georgetown, Indiana.
Nubian dry does. Starting the class with an 8-year-old doe, doe that still excels in general appearance, being strong on her feet and legs, being strong on that back and rump, yet she excels that in number 2 as well as in general appearance, being leveler over that back and rump, and dairy strength, being sharper in those withers, carrying less excess fleshing than our doe in 2. 2 is placing over 3. It is for her turn in that body capacity category. Tremendously deep doe here at the heart girth, carrying it back into that rear flank as well as that springer rib. Again, an aged doe here. We love the way she is held up. A doe that is beautiful on that back and rump. 3 is placing over 4. In her turn now is for general appearance. A doe that is a longer bodied doe, but a doe that is showing us more depth throughout now in her turn, starting at that heart girth back into her rear flank, coupled with more springer rib than our doe here in 4. 4 is placing over 5. It is for her dairy strength. A doe that's sharper in her withers, longer, leaner neck, more incurving thigh. She will yield just a tad to the depth that we're seeing in this older doe here in 5th place, but she certainly makes up for it in general appearance as well, being leveler over that chine area than our doe in 5th place. 5 over 6, a doe that has the advantage again in general appearance, just being a little more upstanding in that front end, stronger in her breed character. A doe that's straighter in her foreleg, more width in the rear legs, and more body capacity, being deeper in her heart girth than our doe here at the end of the line in 6. 6 over 7 in the balance of the class. It is for her general appearance, being stronger over that back and rump, primarily in the chine area this time, straighter in her foreleg. She is leveler naturally on the move over that rump area from hips to pins. She's going to yield to the tremendous front end on this black and white doe. Without having udders in play on these dry does, we have to judge them like we are junior does, so that leaves a lot to imagine. But we really do appreciate, there's some strong individuals up and down this line. I always appreciated the North American offering this dry doe class and being able to bring some of our some old ladies out and some younger ladies to be able to play and exhibit in this time of year, and thank you all for bringing them out. And here we are for a lineup for our senior champion Alpine milker. And before we all announce it, if you have a first or a second place udder, do not run away because we do have udder, best udder at the end. Last night everyone forgot that and we were chasing everyone down. So this is my PSA for the show. Appreciate you. Starting out here with the Alpine show, beautiful pair of yearlings, both the first and second place. Really like everything about these two yearlings. Really fancy doe on this side. Beautiful mammary system. Don't know if I changed anything about that mammary system. In a lesser competition, you'd be looking at this yearling for a grand champion. She's that nice. We got a really powerful 2-year-old doe here with a lot of capacity. Been fresh since November. Really long, wide, smooth fore udder. A lot of capacity in the rear udder, and she walks smoothly. You put your hands on her, and she's really open and dairy. She kind of fools you when you put your hands on her. We had a single entry in the 3-year-old class. A doe we really like the balance on. She's not quite as fresh as some of the other does, showing us quite as much capacity in the mammary system today. We have a 4-year-old doe, this long black silky doe, a really complete mammary system on this doe. Love the stretch and the style on this doe, the dairy strength. And then we have our 5-year-old doe, a doe that not only is strong in her general appearance, but that mammary system. She's got a quality mammary system, and it's a hard-working mammary system. And then we have our dry doe back here, a doe that is just a really sound doe. Love the power and strength on this doe. Would love to see her in milk so that we could evaluate her more. I think today when I'm looking up and down this lineup, the two does that really come to mind in the Grand Champion drive that are checking the most boxes for the Grand Champion would be between our 5-year-old and our 2-year-old. And today, for her advantage in the overall area of attachment, the height of that rear udder, coupled with the body capacity, it's going to be that 5-year-old for Grand Champion. We bring in our second place 5-year-old and really love the dairy strength and the style on this doe. I always thought there's probably nothing prettier than a pure black silky Alpine, unless it's a pure black silky La Mancha, but hey. Anyway, just a really beautiful doe here, and maybe not quite as high a rear udder or capacious mammary system as some of the other does here. When comparing her with this 2-year-old, the 2-year-old doe has more capacity. She's a little stronger on those feet and legs. A doe that when she's walking, she walks more smoothly around that mammary system, and teats that are placed more correctly. We're going to go up to that 2-year-old for reserve.
And our Alpine senior champion was our age doe, Rose Winds Magnolia, exhibited by Alexandria Stewart, Frankfort, Ohio. Our reserve senior champion was the 2-year-old. I don't know her full name, but it's free. And it is exhibited by Mark Weir, Manitou, Kentucky. Congratulations. Don't forget that we will show for an overall grand and reserve for NAILE, so we need the junior champion and reserve junior champion back, please.
And this is my lineup for my senior champion Nubian. Nubian competition in our area is always very deep and always appreciate it. When I'm judging across the country, I'm always surprised that it's not that way in other areas. And sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not. Having started in Nubians a couple of several decades ago, who am I kidding? Um, I'm used to these floppy-eared wonders, and they'll always have a secret, you know, place there in my heart. I can't let it go. There's always got to be one or two around. In starting this lineup, we've got a pair of really nice yearlings up here. Again, does that just need more maturity to be able to compete here in this lineup today with the quality that we have. A 2-year-old that we love everything about this 2-year-old. Again, she's not an over mature 2-year-old. She's a first freshener. A really quality mammary system. I love the medial and the teat placement on this doe. Maybe not her love for kicking me every time I go up to fill of her. But other than that, she's a really lovely doe. A 3-year-old doe that is strong in general appearance, and that strength of mammary system, the capacity, the height, the width, and the beautiful dairy strength. We have a 4-year-old doe that is really strong in general appearance. That's what brought her to the top of the class, and the beautiful depth and wedge shape of this doe. And then our age doe, again, another doe that's really got the right shape to her. And then we love this dry doe, this 8-year-old doe. If she was in milk, she would definitely be in this fight for our grand champion senior doe. Today, the two does that I'm looking at in this lineup is going to be our 3-year-old and our age doe. And today, for her advantage in general appearance, strength in those pasterns, the capacity to the mammary system, the extension of forudder, the teat size and placement, my grand's going to be that 3-year-old. We now bring in our second place 3-year-old doe, and a really dairy 3-year-old doe, a doe that I think follows that same type pattern. When we compare her to our age doe, we have a doe that is stronger in her pasterns. We have a doe that is showing us more extension of forudder. We have a doe that's a little more correct in that teat size and placement. We will give some into the rear udder of our age doe, but we make up for it in our dairy strength. We're going to stay in the same class for reserve. Let me read it off of there.
And our senior champion, Nubian, goes to the 3-year-old, Begley's Troubled Acres Fascination, exhibited by Lisa Begley. And our reserve champion was the second place 3-year-old Hohenboo BMR Karma Kisbet, exhibited by Holly Baroker. Congratulations.
in the tradition of our NAILE show, we bring our senior champion out to compete against our junior champion, reserve junior champion for overall grand champion of the breed. I appreciate my exhibitors being on deck with those juniors and having them here so uh, quickly, so thank you all. We have two really lovely junior does here, very competitive in a large number that was out in Alpines, but I'm going to stay with this beautiful senior champion and reserve senior champion. They have these lovely attached, capacious, productive mammary systems, and we'll see these two junior does back in a year or two to battle for that title. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And our grand champion Alpine was Rosewinds R. Magnolia, exhibited by Alexandria Stewart. A reserve grand champion was Tempo Akia Racing Free, exhibited by Mark Weir. Congratulations.
Again, in the tradition of our nail show, we bring in our senior champion Nubians in comparison with our junior champion and reserve junior champion Nubian for overall grand champion Nubian. And again, I really appreciate this junior yearling, the senior yearling, and the structural correctness we have, the beautiful feet and legs, the strong top lines and front end assemblies. But when you have all that, plus these lovely mammary systems, we're going to stay with that pair of 3-year-olds for overall grand and reserve. Congratulations.
And our grand champion Nubian is Begley's Troubled Acres Fast Nation, exhibited by Lisa Begley. A reserve champion, a reserve grand champion Nubian is Hohenbu BMR Karma Kismet, exhibited by Holly Baroker. Congratulations.
And this is our competition for our best udder in our Alpine breed. And for many of the same reasons that I used when I was giving my reasons for grand champion, the doe here today that has the most capacious mammary system, the longest, widest fore udder, the most height to that rear udder, and the strongest udder floor is going to be that aged doe. She's going to be my best udder breed. When we look at reserve best udder up and down this lineup, I feel like the competition really comes between that yearling and that 2-year-old. But today, for the overall capacity of the mammary system, the extension of that fore udder, we're going to go with our 2-year-old, our reserve grand, for our reserve best udder.
And our best uttered Alpine doe is the aged doe Rose Winds FR Magnolia, exhibited by Alexandria Stewart. Our second best uttered Alpine was the 2-year-old. Tempo Akia Racing Free, exhibited by Mark Weir. Congratulations.
And here's the lineup for my best udder Nubian, and some really lovely udder Nubians out here today. I like to see the arch that we have, the teat placement on these does. Some really strong, capacious mammaries looking at them here in November. Does with certainly with a will to milk. I think the doe that today is showing me the most capacity, the most height, the most area of attachment, coupled with that length of fore udder, is going to be that 3-year-old, our grand champion of the day. She's going to be my best udder. When we walk her out of the line and we bring in our second place doe, a doe that we really appreciated her mammary system, a doe that now I think we have to compare. We have another doe in the lineup that didn't make the lineup, but she certainly had a strong udder. The closest competition is going to be that 4-year-old. And when we're looking up and down through this lineup and we're comparing that 3-year-old to the 4-year-old, I do appreciate the 4-year-old's arch and the length of fore udder, but we don't have quite the capacity or quite the medial that we do on that 3-year-old. We're going to stay with our 3-year-old class and make that our reserve best udder. This is our Alpine dairy herd class. We are placing 1/2 today for their advantage in their mammary systems. We have a set of does that are just a lot more bloomier right now, so we have the advantage in the capacity of the mammary systems, the height and the width of the rear udders, coupled with general appearance, the strength of the pasterns across the board, and the upstandingness and length of body on these four does. We do appreciate the openness of rib, the spring of rib on these last second place four does. Thank you. Nubian dairy herd, two really beautiful, strong groups of does here. One is going over two today for their advantage in the mammary systems. We have does that right now are just a little bloomier. We have more height to those rear udders. We have stronger medials, more correct heat placement. Then we have general appearance does that are standing on a stronger set of feet and legs, and dairy strength just a little sharper across the board than our second group of does. We do appreciate the smoothness of blending and the levelness of the second place group of does. Thank you. Alpine best three. One is going over two today for their advantage in the mammary systems. We have more capacity in these first three does. We have does that are stronger in general appearance on their feet and legs, more levelness over that back and rump, coupled with the length of body. We do appreciate the levelness and the flatness of these wide rumps that we have on these second place three does. But Nubian best three again, two really strong sets of does. We're going 1/2 today for their advantage in mammary systems. Again, it's the consistency in the medial and the teat placement, more overall capacity, coupled with the general appearance, strength of feet and legs, and body capacity that moves them over this very level, smoothly blended group here in second place. Thank you. Nubian Senior got a sire, starting off with a group of does that have the advantage here in the consistency of the mammary systems, the capacity, the height in the rear udder, the width of the rear udder, that teat placement, coupled with the strength in the feet and legs to move over two. Two is placing over three. It is for the advantage in general appearance, the smoothness of blending, coupled with body capacity to go over this young group of does here in three. We do appreciate everything we're seeing on this young group of does, and there's a lot of promise here to be seen.
As we're lining up our last Alpine class of the afternoon, I want to take a minute to recognize our premier exhibitor and premier breeder of our 2024 show. Both of those awards this year go to Miss Hannah Wolf from Mason, Illinois. Congratulations.
Produce a day in for our Alpines. One is going over two today. We have the advantage of two mammary systems on this first pair of does, and it is for that maturity, those mammary systems, the height, the width, the extension, the correctness on those does to move them over our second place group. Two is placing over three, and is for the advantage that we have here in general appearance, the correctness in those rear pasterns, the correctness in the set to the front legs, and the one mammary system that we see, the correctness in it, the capacity in that mammary system, the extension to the fore udder over our group in 3. 3 over 4, we have the advantage in 2 does in milk with correct mammary systems. They're not real bloomy right now, but we know that they are freshened. They're correct mammary systems, and it is that maturity, that depth of body, that spring of rib that moves them over these junior does here in 4. 4 is placing over 5. It's the consistency of this pair of does, the levelness over the backs and rumps, the correctness of those feet and legs to move them over our group in 5. 5 over 6, it is for the advantage here in the dairy strength, the length of neck, the levelness over the back, the sharpness of those withers. We do appreciate the smoothness of blending that we're seeing in these Sungal does here in 6th place. Produce a dam in our Nubian breed, and all these are with 2 different sires. We have dams that are really doing a fantastic job of producing themselves, if not better, and consistently. But one is going over 2. It's for the consistency that we see in the general appearance, the levelness over the backs and rumps, that width of rump, the flatness from thorough to thorough, coupled with the capacity of the mammary systems. And the correct set of those rear legs over our 2nd place group. 2 is placing over 3. It's for the mammary system. We have 2 does that are currently in milk over a doe that is dry. And though she's a beautiful dry doe, we can evaluate these 2 does that are in milk. And it is for dairy strength as well. Does that are sharp, more open ribbed, carrying less excess fleshing than our does here in 3. 3 is placing over 4. It is for the general appearance, the levelness over the backs and rumps, the body capacity in both of these does, the similarity between these 2 does over the group here in 4. We do appreciate the smoothness of blending of the 4th place group.
As we wrap up our Nubian show, I'd like to announce our premier breeder and premier exhibitor. Both of those awards this year are going to go to Miss Holly Baroker. Congratulations. That does conclude our shows for this afternoon. We start back this evening at 5.